Tony Selza here. Man, we got some fun today. You know, we are constantly finding the coolest, the really the life-changing technologies that are really going to help you enjoy your entire life. And so pet lovers, pay attention, man. I have a friend, a really sad story. Just a couple of weeks ago, she had a deaf dog, and she was coming up her driveway, and she actually ran over her own dog. Can you imagine? What an awful story. I mean, I felt so bad I had to give her a hug. But this is a technology that could stop a tragedy like that from happening. I mean, we have Wolf on, and Sean Kelly is the founder, CEO, inventor, genius, the Steve Jobs of the pet wearable industry, if you will. I mean, here he is. You know, you've got this wearable on the collar of the dog that allows a revolution to take place, and not only how you know your dog and how you can take care of your dog and how you can prevent and really, you know, look out for your dog, but also how you can train and really, you know, kind of gain knowledge about your dog you never really, and then even maybe earn the respect for your dog, all that in one. Tell me about this.
Yeah, Tony, thanks for having me. I don't know if I can quite live up to that moniker you gave me, the Steve Jobs of wearables, but we'll do our best.
Yeah.
You know, people talk about or hear about all the time the Internet of Things, the Internet of Everything, right? And we've kind of devised all these devices to create smart, you know, refrigerators or smart what have you. And we have our best friends here sitting at our side the whole time, and then and we're kind of just like, well, what about them? What about we bring them into this connected world that we live in? We really learn more about them, understand who they are, the way they think, the way they interact with each other, with us, and use that to improve the way that we connect with them, right? So the product that we're building is an on-collar device that goes on your dog's collar, and it's a hardware computing product. So it takes in all this cool data, all this information, like how active they are, if they're barking or growling, where they're at, you know, their location. And it allows us to see this all in an application and understand more about them. And then we've got this whole new training aspect that's kind of like Duolingo for dog training. So whereas Duolingo is creating this whole new way to learn a language that's fun, it's engaging, it's 10 minutes a day, we're doing the same thing with dog training, right? So the same content that you know and love from your favorite dog trainer, now we're giving it a mobile first kind of delivery vehicle. So it's there with you on your smartphone in your pocket every day. So if you're on the bus, do 10 minutes to help you learn how to handle different situations. And then when you get home with your dog, we help you kind of go through these different training exercises, understand really how to gain that trust and respect from your dog so you can have that relationship that you've always wanted with them.
Well, just personalizing this story, man, my last dog was an English bulldog. And so we were always worried about the weight, right? I mean, it was literally a skateboarding bulldog. And in the summer, you know, that dog, you know, would be its perfect weight. And in the winter, I don't think that dog, you know, walked 100 yards, right? You know, but we fed it the same, right? And we, you know, so in the same amount of calories, and she would go, you know, from 45 to almost 60 pounds, you know, and that's not good for the dog. Those have short lifespans, and this is a way to improve the quality of that life, the quality of the dog's activity. But then the flip side of that is that dog cost me about 40 TV remotes, right? So now there's a way where that we could make sure that we could train when the dog got on the bed and sense that, so we can give him that verbal command even when I'm at work. That's a pretty cool thing, right? I mean, a lot of people are thinking they want these for their kids or their husbands. And here we have this ability to do that with our best friend in a way and improve that relationship. This is pretty cutting edge. I mean, not to gush on you, but this is some cool stuff applied in a brave new way. And that's really what I love about technology. It's not, you guys have taken, you know, the difference between you and the other wearables, the other that are out there for dogs, believe it or not, there's a space that you've taken it and said, you know, how do we not only just answer the problems that have existed, but how do we look and see what technology could to fix problems that we didn't even think about, right? I mean, that's kind of what you envision this ecosystem that's developing. Is that fair?
That's entirely fair, and that's exactly what we're doing. So our competitors, there's a couple that are already in the market, they've basically taken products that already exist for humans or for other applications and, put it in a form factor and put it on a dog's collar, right? We see that as kind of, okay, version 1.0, the low hanging fruit. So either a Fitbit for dogs or a GPS tracker for dogs, right? That's good stuff. It's useful. It gets the ball rolling. It gets the conversation started. But for us, we've always looked at it like, okay, well, if we're going to put technology on a dog, we really want to understand where is the value going to come in, both for the dog and the dog owner. And so we've been talking with dog owners since day one, since I'd started even thinking about this concept, because we follow things like the lean startup principles, right? And customer development, which means get out there, talk to people, understand if what you're building is actually something that they would use, and especially if something that they would pay for, right? And so we've kind of taken that ground up approach to see, okay, well, what would be really valuable for dog owners? What are the major stress points, right? Because even though dogs are our best friends and we love them, they bring lots of joy to our lives, and they're our best, our pals. They're not without the stress and the responsibility and the headaches, right? Yep. So from peeing in your house to barking all day to leash aggression when you're out walking your dog, right? And to turn a walk from this thing where your dog's pulling you the whole time and you're just like, you're stressing out, to something where now you understand how to be the leader, how to control your dog, how to gain that respect, and now he's walking along your side nice and easy. That changes the entire nature of the relationship, and it helps you go from that that troublesome dog to the dog of your dreams. Right. And while we can't promise it overnight, what we're essentially offering or hoping to deliver upon is closing the knowledge gap, right? It's so understanding how, so you're talking about your bulldog who, you'd feed the same amount every day, blah, blah, blah. That's simply because, that's what you thought was the best practice. Right. And there's nothing wrong on your behalf for doing so. It's just kind of a lack of education and knowledge in that space, right? Yeah. And what we found is dog owners, they have the best intentions to do what's right for their dogs, but they just don't really have the necessary tools, training, and advice to do so. And that's what we want to do, and use the app, your smartphone, which is with you every day, to be a mobile first conduit to that next generation.
I mean, just kind of summarizes, because I want to make sure that, we close out the show on a timely manner, that really giving people the ability to tighten the feedback loop of understanding knowledge and applying it in the real world. I mean, that's the power of IoT. That's the power of of having an app that interacts with sensors. It's just an amazing way to apply this at a very real problem and improve the lives of our most beloved friends. It's so good to have you on the show, man. Awesome play.
Yeah, thanks so much. And I think closing the feedback loop is exactly the right way, right? And dogs communicate in a different way. And so what we're trying to do is enable them to communicate in a way that we understand. And so here's one of our prototypes. You can check us out at getwoof.com, and really, really happy to be on the show here, Tony. Thanks so much for having me.
And we're taking pre-sales, right? So you can be one of the first to have it. They're building the waiting list. Way to go, Lean Startup, brother. Thanks so much.
Thank you.